Hello everyone, you welcome to this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. I am Bable Jonathan. We are broadcasting from Cameroon's economic capital. Dwelling our top stories, the ghost continues resisting efforts by local authorities in the Anglophone parts of the Republic of Cameroon, the northwest and the southwest regions. Today, as usual, was Operation Ghost Town, and it was respected in Anglophone Cameroon, notably in the southwest regional chief town Buea, despite efforts of the mayor of that municipality, Patrick Esunge, as the Anglophone crisis continues deepening further, and the country's Minister of Territorial Administration, Atanganji Paul, promises tough times to hostage takers in the northern parts of the Republic of Cameroon. He was speaking today in Gaoundere in the Adamawa region of the country. And of course, in this newscast, we shall show you the ugly face of chronic underdevelopment hitting several parts of the country. Stay with us. Despite efforts of local authorities in the southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon hit by socio-political and security crisis for close to 3 years, today Operation Ghost Town is still respected in the town of Buea, since it was declared by pro-independence fighters. The streets remained empty today, as it is the case every Monday. The streets were simply empty, void of persons and motorbikes. Only some few persons could be seen moving in parts of the town of Buea, though the municipal authorities led by Mayor Patrick Esunge have been at war against Operation Ghost Town. He, however, remains determined to kick out the ghosts from the southwest regional chief town Buea with measures that he has been taking in order to revive the socio-economic life of the southwest regional chief town Buea. And yesterday it was held, so to speak, for inhabitants of the town of Buea to move from one part of the town to the other. And this is because for over 2 Sundays, the municipal authorities in Buea have been undertaking measures to compel cab drivers to hit the streets every Monday, despite the risk of having their vehicles being burnt down in the course of the Operation Ghost Town that is respected every Monday. Reports streaming in indicate that taxi drivers in the southwest regional chief town Buea are compelled, with the aid of forces of law and order, and of course security forces, to park their cabs in the premises of the Buea Council in order to compel them to hit the streets of the town of Buea on Monday. Their private documents, according to information streaming in from some taxi drivers in Buea, are equally seized, including their driver's licenses and identification documents, and they have been compelled to hit the streets on the Monday despite the Operation Ghost Town. But this has seemingly not been working to a greater extent, that the streets of Buea have continued to be empty on Mondays. Operation Ghost Town is respected in Buea to a certain extent, and equally respected in other parts of Anglophone Cameroon, the northwest and the southwest regions of the country. And we continue talking about the Anglophone crisis with local administrative authorities who are now stepping up efforts to bring the people who have been displaced out of the bushes into their homes. They have been calling on them to leave the bushes and come back home, those who have been displaced, and even the pro-independence fighters who have been promised by government that they will be well treated, they will be protected and reintegrated into the normal life trend by the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee created by the President of the Republic, led by former Governor Fai Yengo Francis. Derek Jato reports on Buea.
At a time that the Cameroon government is intensifying calls for all in the bushes to come home, on the grounds that they can't build their future from the bushes, not leaving out campaigns for reintegration, Mr. Fowan Lawrence, Senior Divisional Officer from Jan Division, re-echoed these messages in his recent outing, but frowned at some security forces for their excesses. Sources said there was an attack here in Mondemba, chieftain of Njan Division, and arrests were later made. Report also have it that some security forces allegedly took 370,000 francs from the individuals that were arrested for exchange of their freedom, describing it as unlawful and something that should not repeat itself. Mr. Fowan Lawrence, the senior divisional officer and commander-in-chief of Njan Division, said suspect must be tried. If guilty, they should be sentenced, and if innocent, they should be acquitted. The senior divisional officer also called on the Njan population to remain law-abiding and collaborative, especially in this trial moment.
And non-governmental organizations as well as religious institutions have been at work stepping up efforts to restore peace in the crisis-hit southwest and northwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. And one of the religious institutions struggling to restore peace in the crisis-hit parts of the country is the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. Derijato once more.
The journey to bring peace back into the two Anglophone regions is the concern of many, but the church has been seen more embarking on such a journey lately. And critics say the church strives will only be considered fruitful when the people of the northwest and southwest regions will be able to freely move out and go about their daily activities unperturbed, void of gunshot and killings. Something that is today a luxury in these two Anglophone regions. In Buea, the 2019 Peace Summit organized by the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon is on, and the street of Buea, where most of the violence have been recorded, is a target. And Reverend Ty Williams, the PCC Peace counterpart, is heading the street campaign this day one of the summit.
Because we are tired of all these cases, violence, killing. We are tired. A good number of people are willing, accepting these messages to say that I'm an ambassador of peace, I love peace, and so we pray that at the end of it, this campaign will help the entire nation.
They too saw the participation of Right Reverend Funky Samuel Foba, the moderator of the PCC.
Our dream is not to tell Anglophones that by doing so we want to disturb your desire to become an independent nation. That's not our business. It's not even our dream to tell government that we want to stop this crisis or want to help to stop this crisis. Our idea is peace.
And also present was the representative of the Southwest Governor, who received a gift of stickers carrying peace messages for the Southwest Governor. The day ended with the moderator of the PCC being awarded for his initiatives to bring back peace into the two Anglophone regions.
The two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon that have not known peace for close to 3 years today, since the Anglophone crisis quickly switched from a peaceful protest to an armed conflict in October 2016, and the situation has continued deepening in the two Anglophone regions of the country with recurrent gun battles, killings, abductions, destruction of properties, arrest of persons going on in the two Anglophone parts of the country, while government continues struggling to find solutions, notably through the military way, as the President of the Republic has repeatedly called on the pro-independence fighters to leave the bush and come back into the normal trend of life and be reintegrated by the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee. But seeing that the call has not been yielding fruits, he promised a military crackdown if the pro-independence fighters fail to come out of the bushes, while non-governmental organizations as well as international institutions have been calling for an inclusive dialogue as a way to find the solutions to the problems rogging the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. Today was a very difficult day at the Mbopi market in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, one of the biggest trade hubs in Central Africa, which is usually as busy as a beehive, was more or less a dead zone. Today, some traders grounded activities. They shut down the shops in protest to the decision of the Douala City Council to seal the shop of one of the leaders of the traders in that market, Alice Magaju, who is the president of one of the traders organizations or trade unions in the Mbopi market, and the shops were sealed over the weekend by the Douala City Council on grounds that she had been taken off that duty of the president of traders union or trade unions in the Mbopi market, but she is still recognized as the leader of the traders, and that is why they came out in their numbers to protest, carrying placards indicating that they are angry with the decision of the Douala City Council. You can see shops that remained sealed throughout the day in the Mbopi market, which is one of the biggest in Central Africa. Immaculate Fogwe files in details. Immaculate Fogwe with that report on what happened today in the Mbopi market here in Douala. I should indicate that over 10 traders were arrested as forces of law and order arrived at the market to maintain some peace as a result of the disorder that was going on in that market today. Immaculate Fogwe. We'll be coming back to that report subsequently, and I told you in the headlines that we'll be showing you the ugly face of chronic underdevelopment affecting several parts of the Republic of Cameroon, from parts of big cities like Yaoundé and Douala right into the hinterlands. Several parts of the Republic of Cameroon are underdeveloped and begging for basic necessities, including roads, portable water, electricity, and others. And a case in point in this newscast is the locality of Minta in the central region of Cameroon. This is the only source of potable water in the entire village of Minta, in the Upper Senegal Division, Central Region of Cameroon. Minta is hit by a chronic water crisis. The lone borehole was constructed by Kotko at the DO's office. Fortunately, the DO is very generous and allows the population to fetch water from there. Otherwise, we would have already died. All the other boreholes in Minta are out of use. Inhabitants are obliged to run to streams and rivers to fetch water and for other activities. Inadequate supply of electric energy is another problem plaguing the locality. Minta has been deprived of electricity for several months. For more than a year and a half, we don't have electricity. Without electricity and water, it is really difficult. Income generating activities have been slowed down. Several persons like this Baba are now compelled to use generators.
On n'a pas de courant d'électricité ici. On fait vraiment comme ça.
The subdivision is rich, notably in terms of forest resources, but it is not benefiting from the exploitation of its resources.
Pourquoi est-ce qu'on ne peut pas venir nous créer un forage avec les revenus de forêt?
Why can they not use revenue from forest resources to construct boreholes in the village? Cameroonians want water, electricity, good health, but there are greedy people filling their pockets.
De bourrer leur poche.
Si on nous a confié,
if the improvement of the people's living conditions has been entrusted into our hands, we will work to deserve their trust.
Pour mériter leur confiance.
Created 60 years ago, Minta subdivision has a population of more than 15,000 inhabitants, begging for help from the Yaoundé administration. Coming up, we take a look at the problem of rising youth unemployment in the Republic of Cameroon. We take a look at the situation of some young people in the west region of Cameroon who are now involved in some small activities that help them to put food on their table while waiting for the day they will get a job or will be able to create an enterprise. For the President of the Republic of Cameroon has been calling on young people to be daring and to be to create initiatives that can generate employment in the country and, of course, income. Senazi.
Cameroonian authorities best know how to chant the lyrics, "Youth are the leaders of tomorrow." Its repetition on several occasions is what provokes those directly caught in the web of youth unemployment. In some villages like Bacham, Bongang, Baliseng, Galim, and many others in the Bambotos and Menua divisions of the West region, these presumed leaders of tomorrow, amongst them university graduates, seem to have a difficult or no bright future regarding the other activities they engage in for income generation.
Nous nous retrouvons ici à cause de la souffrance de nos parents.
Most of them, especially young girls, are hired to work in the farms for a token which at times are still exploited by their contractors.
Et on nous paye 1000 francs la journée. Parfois même on diminue l'argent, disant que nous avons mal travaillé.
Each day, these youths, whose parents are unable to raise money for school fees, cluster at roundabouts with farm tools, waiting for a motorbike to transport them to the farms or to be hired.
Ils se retrouvent ici parce que les parents n'ont plus de moyens pour payer leur scolarité. Beaucoup ont eu des diplômes. Ils sont au quartier avec les parents.
All for sustainability and to kill idleness in the quarters while their mates are in classrooms. They appeal government helps convert them to be true leaders of tomorrow instead of slaves.
Nous interpellons les pouvoirs publics de faire quelque chose pour nous, la jeunesse.
These youths remain optimistic, trusting intervention of government authorities.
And that's it for this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. But before we go, we should indicate that out of the country, campaigns are ongoing in Nigeria and Senegal ahead of upcoming elections. Campaigns started yesterday in Senegal, and in Nigeria, Vice President Osinbajo survived a helicopter crash yesterday or over the weekend as he went campaigning ahead of elections in that country. He and President Muhammadu Buhari are seeking re-election in the upcoming elections in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. Goodbye.